You would probably remember the 2024 Union Budget for the sweeping changes it made to the capital gain structure, or probably for the further sweetening of the new tax regime, or perhaps for the three employment linked incentive schemes. Well, these are all important announcements, but there is one more thing that makes this Union Budget important for years to come. This was the first Union Budget for the new government, which, as you know, is a coalition now. So in a way, this budget acts as the roadmap for not just this year, but for the entire term of this government. No, we are not speculating. Even the finance minister said so in her budget speech.
Subsequent budgets will build on these and add more priorities and actions.
This means that if someone wants to build a stock portfolio for the next 5 years, this budget can be a good starting point to know the themes that will dominate the investment narrative. Hello and welcome to ET Money's YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss 5 themes that you should keep an eye on as an investor. We will also talk about the sectors and stocks that are likely to benefit from these themes so that you can build a future-ready portfolio. But before I start, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And please don't forget to click on the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Alright, let's start with the first investment theme and stocks that can benefit from it. In the 2024 budget, the finance minister said that significant infrastructure investments over the years have had a multiplier effect on the Indian economy. She further said that the government will maintain strong fiscal support for infrastructure over the next 5 years too. For FY25, 11.11 lakh crore has been allocated for capital expenditure. This amount is 3.4% of the GDP. Now, to encourage states to provide support for infrastructure, 1.5 lakh crore of long-term interest-free loans will be provided. 2.66 lakh crore have been allocated for rural development, including rural infrastructure. Further, Phase 4 of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana will be launched to provide all-weather connectivity to 25,000 rural habitations. Even in the 2023 budget, infrastructure and investment was one of the 7 key priorities. The outlay for capital investment stood at 10 lakh crore then, or 3.3% of the GDP. 50-year interest-free loans with an outlay of 1.3 lakh crore were to be provided to states to boost infrastructure. Further, in the Union Budget 2022, the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan was announced for economic growth and sustainable development. It is driven by 7 engines: roads, railways, airports, ports, mass transport, waterways and logistics infrastructure. Now, all these suggest the government's clear focus on infrastructure development in the country. And this is what makes infrastructure a key theme for your portfolio. Now, multiple sectors qualify for the infrastructure theme. So, a good way to hunt for them is to look at the Nifty Infrastructure Index. Now, the main sectors comprising this index are oil and gas, construction, power, telecom and construction materials. Now, this index comprises 30 stocks. The top stocks of this index are Reliance Industries, L&T, Bharti Airtel, NTPC and Power Grid. But if you would like to invest in the index itself, there are 2 ETFs available that track this index, one from ICICI Prudential and one from Nippon India. Now, the infrastructure theme as represented by the Nifty Infrastructure Index has outperformed the Nifty 100 across both 1 and 5-year periods. So it has a decent historical standings too. Alright, let's move to the next theme now. India has predominantly been a service-led economy, with the services sector contributing over 50% of the country's GDP. The share of manufacturing is about 17%. Now, for Atmanirbhar and Viksit Bharat, it's crucial that India increases its manufacturing share in the GDP. The government hopes to raise the contribution of manufacturing to 25% of GDP by 2025. And that's why manufacturing found an important place in the union budgets. It is one of the 9 priorities in the 2024 budget too. Now, there are a slew of announcements to benefit MSMEs, including a credit guarantee scheme, credit support, mudra loans, e-commerce export hubs and so on. The government also plans to facilitate the development of investment-ready plug-and-play industrial parks with complete infrastructure in about 100 cities. Further, 12 industrial parks under the National Industrial Corridor Development Program will also be sanctioned. A critical mineral mission for domestic production, recycling of critical minerals, and overseas acquisition of critical mineral assets will also be set up. Now, to boost job creation in the manufacturing, an employment-linked incentive scheme has also been announced. The PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, a scheme meant to promote installation of solar rooftop panels, has got a phenomenal response and will be encouraged further. Even in the 2022 budget, production-linked incentives of 19,500 crores were announced for manufacture of solar modules. In the same budget, a concession tax regime of 15% tax was introduced for newly incorporated manufacturing companies. This benefit was extended to new cooperatives in the 2023 budget. Now, the union budgets have also often reduced or tweaked custom duties on various items to incentivize domestic manufacturing. Now, given all of this, India's manufacturing story does seem to have a long legs, and this makes it a compelling investment theme. So, if you want to profit from this theme, you can take a look at the Nifty India Manufacturing Index for the sectors that fall into this theme. Its top sectors include auto, capital goods, healthcare, metals and mining, and oil and gas. This index has 75 stocks from the large, mid, and small cap space. The top stocks of this index are Tata Motors, Sun Pharma, Reliance Industries, M&M, and Maruti Suzuki. And if you'd like to invest in the index itself, Mirae Asset Nifty India Manufacturing ETF can help you do so. Now, the manufacturing theme as represented by the Nifty India Manufacturing Index has beaten the Nifty 500 by a wide margin across 1 and 5 year periods. Let's now move to the third theme. It's no secret that India is a consumption-driven economy. With a population of over 140 crore, it's a dream market for most companies. Little surprised that many global companies have been making a beeline to get access to the Indian consumer. Now, while the finance minister may not directly target boosting consumption, consumption is the natural outcome of a growing economy. Now, India's economy is estimated to have grown by 8.2% in real terms in FY24. In FY23, this number was 7%. Now, compare this with China's projected GDP growth for 2024 of 4.8%. Now, quite a few budget announcements will eventually result in greater consumption. The list is on your screen. To know the sectors that fit in the consumption theme, a relevant index is the Nifty India Consumption Index. FMCG, auto, consumer services, consumer durables, and telecom are the top sectors of this index. Now, this index comprises 30 consumption-related stocks. The top stocks of this index are ITC, Airtel, M&M, Hindustan Unilever, and Maruti. And if you are interested in an ETF tracking this index, there is no dearth of such ETFs. There are as many as 5 available, so you can take your pick. Now, the consumption theme, as represented by the Nifty India Consumption Index, has outperformed the Nifty 500, but the margin of outperformance is narrow. Alright, let's move to the next theme now. About 65% of India's population lives in rural areas, and about 47% of the population is dependent on agriculture for its livelihood. That makes rural development a key priority for the government. Indeed, agriculture is often discussed in union budgets towards the beginning. Productivity and resilience in agriculture is one of the 9 priorities mentioned in the 2024 union budget. The budget has made a provision of 1.52 lakh crore for agriculture and allied sectors. Further, an allocation of 2.66 lakh crore has been made for rural development and rural infrastructure. In the 2023 union budget, the agriculture credit target was increased to 20 lakh crore. Now, this budget also set up an accelerator fund to encourage agricultural startups in rural areas. A similar initiative was taken in the 2022 budget. Rural households are also a beneficiary of the PM Awas Yojana, about which we will talk about in the next theme. Now, improvement in rural economy and agriculture has a direct bearing on the rural consumption too, and hence when you play the rural and agriculture theme, that helps you indirectly profit from rural consumption too. The Nifty Rural Index can give you an idea of the sectors that qualify for the rural theme. This index comprises sectors such as financial services, FMCG, auto, power and telecom. It has 75 stocks picked from the Nifty 500 group of stocks. The top stocks of this index are ITC, Airtel, SBI, M&M and Hindustan Unilever. The rural and agri theme, as represented by the Nifty Rural Index, has underperformed the Nifty 500 over 1 and 5 year periods. But the margin is quite narrow and it would be worthwhile to keep this theme on your radar. Alright, let's now talk about the final theme. In the Union Budget 2024, under the PM Awas Yojana Urban 2.0, an investment of 10 lakh crore has been proposed for fulfilling the housing needs of 1 crore urban poor and middle class families. Now, if we check previous budgets, housing has always been the top priority for the government. In the Union Budget for 2023, the outlay for PM Awas Yojana was 79,000 crores. In 2022 budget, 48,000 crore were allocated to complete 80 lakh houses under PM Awas Yojana. Now these outlays reflect the serious efforts the government is making to ensure housing for all. Now if you're interested in the housing theme, a relevant index to study would be Nifty Housing Index. The top sectors in this index are financial services, power, construction materials, consumer durables and metals and mining. The index comprises 50 stocks that are related to the housing theme. The top stocks of this index include L&T, HDFC Bank, NTPC, ICICI Bank, Asian Paints and so on. The housing theme as represented by this index has maintained a small lead over the Nifty 500 over 1 year and 5 year periods. It can hopefully gain more momentum in the future. So, infrastructure, manufacturing, consumption, rural and agri and housing are 5 themes that can dominate the investment narrative in the next 5 years. Now, quite a few sectors and stocks repeat across these themes. So, one way to profit from multiple themes is to invest in sectors or stocks that recur the most. But do note that neither the theme nor the stocks or the ETFs that we've discussed in this video are our recommendations. If you are interested in any of them, please do your own research before investing. Our objective is to bring investment ideas to you so that you can research them further. You can also visit the index page on the Nifty website for more information about the indices and the full list of stocks they comprise. Do let us know which of the 5 themes you would be interested in most, or if you think there is any other theme which looks important to you. And that's all I had for you today. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please share it with your friends and family. I'll be back soon with another video. Till then, take care.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.